Good afternoon. I mentioned booth 600. We actually have 3 companies that are publicly trading in the Belcarra Group. I'll make some forward-looking statements, and the statement that I want to make to you right now is that this week I have proposals on my desk about a diamond drilling program in Mexico for a silver project, a silver gold project. The previous panel that was on stage here talked about financial insecurities and the big picture. One thing that they did mention was that precious metals, gold and silver, would be a key component to anybody's portfolio. And so we happen to have projects that are exploration projects where we're going out and finding and have found gold and silver. Now, I won't go into a lot of technical details at this time, but I do have 3 companies and we're involved in 3 different countries as well. Mentioning Barcelae Minerals, it has the Barcelae project, and it's a joint venture with Agnico Eagle Mines Limited with a big gold system in northern Sweden. Sweden is a very stable jurisdiction to be working in. You'll see Silver Viper Minerals is on the chart there, and the Sonora, Mexico is the heartland of the gold exploration, but it's gold and silver in Sonora, Mexico. And Orex Minerals, which is where Barcelae spun out of originally, has several projects. You'll see the Sandra project and the Kineto project, both in Durango, Mexico. Plus we have a project in British Columbia. So Sweden, Canada, and Mexico, if you're looking for precious metals, they're all good countries for that, and they are all relatively stable countries, which is important in your investment portfolio. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the management team. We have some of them here at booth 600. And on this particular group here, we've done it before. We've made discoveries before. We were Explorers of the Year in Mexico for one of our earlier discoveries. In this group, we have a new member. Tatiana Alva is a very skilled geologist who has joined our group, and she'll be going down and working on some of the projects in Mexico. As you can imagine, Tatiana is bilingual. She does speak Spanish and English, and it'll be very easy for her to slot into the management team that we have for the Belcarra Group. So she will be heading off to Mexico fairly soon to be working on that group. You'll see here also that there are financial people. Gary Cope came from the brokerage side. Stephen Cope came from industrial or investor relations and corporate development side. I'm technical. I was teaching at Queen's University, and I'm a geologist by background, but there are other geologists in the team on this list as well. Our job is to find gold and silver. So starting with Barcelae, we have some high quality assets that is right in the heart of the Skellefteå trend that crosses in northern Sweden, about 600 kilometers north of Stockholm. And our joint venture partner is Agnico Eagle. They're paying the freight at the moment. The way the system works until it goes to a pre-feasibility, they cover the costs of that project, and they're the current operator. I took this photograph. It looks like northern Ontario or northern Quebec. You're in the Fennoscandian Shield. You can work all year round. This was a February shot of the central gold zone on the project, and so it is really an excellent project there. What we're planning to do more is continue to explore. We have plans for 3,000 meters of diamond drilling. We do have a resource on the project. We're sitting at about 2.5 million ounces of gold in the central Shirisen and Avon zones on the project. We think we can increase that fairly quickly because there's a gold zone that's not in the resource yet called Risberget, and the area between Risberget and Central is part of the same shear zone, and it's being tested in the next phases. We're very much involved with community relations with the Sami people of Lapland of northern part of Scandinavia. So moving over to Orex Minerals. Orex Minerals has 2 joint ventures that are in Mexico. The 2 joint ventures, the first one, the Kineto, is with Fresnillo. And if you know Fresnillo, they're listed on the London Stock Exchange. A very good technical company. They are the biggest silver mining company in the world. And they have a joint venture with little old Orex, so that gives you a sense of style. They don't have very many joint ventures, but because they know us, they got involved with us. Pan American Silver, the world's 2nd largest silver producer. There's our joint venture partner on the Sandra project. And then we have the 3rd project in British Columbia, which we're currently in negotiations with. So we have an established presence in Mexico. We've made discoveries in Mexico, and more importantly for you, we've made money for investors who have invested on our projects over the years. So the technical and management team has done this before. We have a house right in Durango City. If any of you are coming down for a visit, we would certainly welcome to have a chat down there as well. But before then, booth number 600. So that's the one to remember here. This particular photograph you can see has the area where we made a silver discovery. Where the pickup truck is in this photograph is the Belcarra discovery. In the joint venture there, we have about 33 million ounces of silver sitting right at surface. It's a surface layered deposit that's horizontal and in a crystallithic tooth. I go into the technical stuff if you want later on, but that's where it's sitting. And on that, we see a trend going towards the reddish hill in the distance on the photograph. And that reddish hill, the Cerro Rojo, is a change in temperature and mineralogy. And that's the direction that we'll be exploring, probably starting maybe 5 to 7 weeks from now. We've got the permits in place. We're negotiating for the drilling contract this week. So that gives you a sense for what's happening, and that was a forward-looking statement that we're about to drill. But it's pretty solid because we've got the permits in place. Okay? So expanding Kineto, that's the one with Fresnillo. We've got the metallurgy, and we put out our maiden resource on the Kineto project. The Kineto project is a 55-45 joint venture. Fresnillo is the operator. We've spent about $6 million on that project, and the first estimate is 538,000 ounces of gold equivalent. That's roughly half gold and half silver by value. If you prefer thinking in terms of silver, that would be about 40 million ounces of silver in a vein system, a classic steeply dipping veins in the Mexican style of low to intermediate sulfidation veins. There is a base metal component as well, but we did not include that in the resource at this time. If we start working further down deeper, we expect the base metals to increase as we go down with depth. That's a standard sort of zonation. So here for Orex, we'll be drilling. We'll continue with the community engagement. We did some reforestation on the villages and fixed some of their dams. Very important that we maintain a low environmental footprint and we do the job right. Silver Viper is the one that's up in Sonora. We made a discovery up there, and that discovery is in an area where it's a continuation of some properties that we were able to consolidate in that area. There were some gold projects there. We found some more zones of the similar style. So our team can be brought in. We bring in our expertise of various types. It has a lot of blue sky potential, expanding on El Ruby discovery, and we just did some geophysics that shows that there may be some deeper roots to some of these areas, and we will be going back to a drilling program soon. So here's where they're going to be doing the exploration. We put out the release in 2021. You can see the rough size of it in inferred and indicated resource, and there is visible gold, so gold and silver in the system, but visible gold in the drill core, and that's just a photograph of it. Community engagement's a little different there because it's mostly ranchers, not the ejido councils, but we have a staff in Mexico that can deal with both styles of negotiations. So essentially contact us about these companies. We've done it before. We made money for shareholders, and our booth number is 600. So that comes right back to how you can talk to us today. Thank you very much.